Why should delegates of General Conference care about vital congregations and the 4 areas of focus?
It's the 4 areas of focus in vital congregations help us to reclaim the best of our past as we look at the present landscape going into the future, and also to align what we do. We do a lot of good things, and I think it's important that we keep aligning ourselves with those 4 areas of focus, always with an eye about, the 4 areas of focus are the fruit of vital congregations, of vital Christians, but they're also the means. It's kind of a circular thing. Mm-hmm. So when we do that, we're keeping aligned and doing that. And I just think as the United Methodist Church, it's wonderful to be able to celebrate a few things, and we anticipate being able to celebrate one of the significant goals of global health, which is the $75 million towards Imagine No Malaria. When you have a goal and you're aligned to it, you really can accomplish something and see it.
Yeah, and I would add, in our experience, we do a roundtable approach to mission where we have roundtables in various countries around the world, and we have used in the last 3-4 years basically the 4 areas of focus to structure the roundtable. The roundtable is a meeting which is hosted, let's say, by the East Congo Episcopal area, and all partners are invited to the table. And the main voice, of course, is the East Congo voice. But then the others are sitting around the table, so you're not bilaterally in mission, but you have the whole group around the table. And the conversation is organized around the 4 areas of focus. And I have seen this happening, how this helps us to structure our conversation. So we are not only talking about children and education, but also about church growth. Or we also talk about theological education as much as we talk about hospitals or clinic in the church. So the 4 areas have really helped to structure and do it everywhere. Do it in the East Congo Episcopal area, or when we have a Zimbabwe roundtable, or we are here in our day-to-day work as the General Secretaries, sitting together and seeing how do we collaborate around the 4 areas of focus as agencies who are housed or based in the United States.
Well, I believe that this is the way to go. Delegates of General Conference should see the bigger picture. If in the past we lost membership somewhere, I don't want to specify where, but this is a time when the United Methodist Church as a sleeping giant should wake up and make more impact in the society. That's the essence of our Wesleyan heritage, right? A balance between personal and social holiness. And in social holiness, we need to act out the mission of Christ and share His love to other people. And so, delegates to General Conference should be very aware, they should be informed of this big program, this call to action that we need to vitalize our congregations.
General Conference delegates need to be prepared to understand these 4 areas of focus in vital congregations. What is coming to General Conference in 2016 around vital congregations and 4 areas of focus?
To really try to have some strategic directions in each of these 4 areas of focus. It's not that we aren't doing many things in ministry with the poor, but to have strategic directions, for instance, in that again help us to work together, to be aligned, to just have that sense of being able to see the effects of our work. And so we will be presenting strategic directions for each of the 4 areas of focus at General Conference. And I think that'll be exciting. I mean, sort of been one, which was global health around Imagine No Malaria, but this time we hope that it'll be 4, and that will once again be tantalizing to annual conferences and local churches to find ways to be involved in each of those strategic directions, or the ones that make sense for them.
Yeah, and an example could be in the area of health, where we will celebrate our Imagine No Malaria campaign and the fundraising goal and what we have reached with the Global Fund, but also with the implementation of our work in the Africa Central Conferences. But we are also moving into a next phase where we say, how can we build on the Imagine No Malaria campaign, going beyond one disease? For me, it was also important going into a health campaign which shows our shared vulnerability. So it is not just one group raising funds, which was exciting and very successful, and the others receiving, but how can we show that we are one church? And Brené Brown has this nice sentence she writes on, speaks a lot about vulnerability, and she said, shared vulnerability creates connection. And connection is our word as Methodists, so I thought it's interesting she is using that word to say only if you show also your own vulnerability. So we have tried to really reach out. We sent out, I think, 50,000 forms to questionnaires, you know, to get responsive, ask people in the US, but also international. We had responses from 59 countries to say, what are the health issues in your country? And we discovered they may be different, but it's not that there are no health issues in the United States or in Europe. There are very serious issues about non-communicable diseases, nutrition, diet, dependency. So, I mean, sharing this and saying a next health campaign needs to bring this all together is, I think, essential if we want to be a worldwide connection as a church and share in our vulnerability and create a true connection. So I think that's important for this area of focus. It's not about just one area of our church, but it's also a tool to bring our church together and share that we are in this together as a church.